looking at a ton of weather that like extreme weather we're gonna be seeing over the next few days. Um, One of that's gonna be the flash flooding. We'll be continuing to see. So really, we're not over with this whole extreme flooding threat that we've been seeing like past week really or two across the Ohio Valley. We've also been looking around just the weather in the Midwest. And we're seeing the continuation of the monsoonal pattern across Southwest, and in between all that, we'll also be looking at a heat wave across the plains. So yeah, let's dive into all. So for today's outlook for this afternoon and evening, we have main slight risk area for concerns to weather for today. It's across northeast North Dakota, northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and western UP of Michigan. The Marjoris also extends across the Midwest and even into Minnesota, southeast South Dakota, northeast Nebraska, and northwestern Iowa, with two separate marginal risk areas. One of them is across Maine, northern Maine, and also another one across the Ohio Mississippi River confluence areas, such as southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, southeast Missouri, and northeast Arkansas, as well as the western Kentucky and Tennessee areas. Um, Again, this is for today. There is a very isolated tornado threat for portions of the upper Midwest. See, there's a 2% tornado threat for North Dakota and northwest Minnesota. Also one across northwest Wisconsin. For the wind threat, this is going to be one of the main threats. Basically, as you see here, upper Midwest is a 15% damaging wind risk and also a 15% hail risk. And even as things start to evolve, we could even see some very large hail at first for northwest Minnesota and northeast North Dakota. Um, so that's basically it's mainly a damaging wind threat across other areas. But we also have another service area again, as I mentioned, for tomorrow as well, going from northeast Missouri across Illinois, northwest Indiana, and into central lower Michigan. The tornado threat risk is mainly bottled up in Lower Michigan too as well, um, which is where that 2% risk area is situated. But the risk mainly encompasses for the wind risk, as well as the southern Arizona risk area as well, to point that out as well. This area from Central Plains into the Great Lakes region also has a isolated hail risk. We're not going to stop here because there's possibly some flash flooding concerns, especially given the air mass recently across many of these areas. We're not going to stop there because there is a flash flooding risk, especially given the recent rains in Ohio Valley. So we're going to be continuing to see some of that as well across other regions, not just that area as well, which we'll get. Flash flooding outlook has a small moderate risk area for flash flooding across southeast Illinois and southwest Indiana and northwest Kentucky, with a slight risk around that, even extending into southern Indiana, much of Kentucky and Tennessee. And other widespread marginal risk areas as well, similarly to tomorrow. So the slight risk for the Midwest is basically where most of the severe weather risk is as well, which is from eastern Missouri, most of Illinois, and northern Indiana, and even southwest lower Michigan. We have a tiny slight risk area as well for southeast Louisiana, and also the surrounding marginal risk areas, even of course with the monsoon, we're going to be seeing for quite a while. And then the flash flooding threat shifts southward into the Ohio Valley and the southern Great Lakes for Thursday, which includes the southeast corner of Missouri and even southern Illinois, Indiana, northern edges of Kentucky, even the southeast corner of lower Michigan, as well as Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania, and western New York State. Another service area for the monsoon area is also seen across eastern and northern Arizona, western New Mexico, and even into the south central corner of Colorado. We'll also be taking a look at what the potential heat wave and everything has in mind, and also some little bit of timing and storms. So looking at the future radar here, storms will evolve across eastern Minnesota and even come into northern Wisconsin, like I'd say in the evening. Um, we'll start to see this develop over the next couple of hours, at least. And then also see this go into Wisconsin, I'd say like really during the late evening hours, early mid-evening hours possibly, as soon as like maybe 8 p.m. local time. And it could also be even lingering across other areas of Wisconsin, like central and eastern Wisconsin after midnight. Um, we'll also continue to see some of that rain most likely, and even some storms here and there. Even with the other areas that could potentially be severe as well. But it's more isolated, like during the overnight hours, as we're looking at. And I know they've also potentially onto this line of storms across Michigan um, during more like the earlier hours of Wednesday and whatnot. As for the tomorrow's storms of yeah, so we're gonna be looking at some development across the Midwest as well. During the afternoon hours, we'll start to see some of those really fire up again, like three or so. But we could see some, but the lingering storms across Michigan will also be like continuing through the afternoon hours. So there'll be not just some dumb morning storms, but they'll also be like going in on the afternoon hours. They push further to the southeast. We'll see a whole new line to develop in the afternoon as well. So we'll start seeing that fizz up at like mid-afternoon hours. This could potentially extend into Missouri as well, as we'll probably see though. Um, so continuing onward, we could see some back building of storms, which is thus the flash flooding risk later during the night. And then we'll continue, and then it'll be drier across this general region Thursday. But we could see some more development, of course. So not actually really dry, but like we'll see more development at some point across the Ohio Valley, um, Thursday afternoon and evening. That's what the most likely scenario is. It'll continue on the night hours. But this is more of an isolated scatter nature, so there's really not really an organized through weather threat at this time, so mostly a flooding threat, but there's also more models and we'll have a better idea later on as well. So it's just one model as well, as you can see. But now we're just gonna go to the heat waves. I feel like we could see some really sizzling heat, even up to 110 degrees for this afternoon. But this is basically this afternoon, so I'm not really gonna go too much on about it at this point. But we'll see the Southern Plains also really be going in the triple digits tomorrow afternoon as well. And then we'll see some of that come back across the rest of the plains Thursday. And even more notably for Friday, if you're still ahead of a front, that could be moving across this region as well. And we could see some more triple digit readings across South Dakota possibly, and even Oklahoma, Texas, maybe even the rest of the plains as well. But we could also see some of that heat really across the entire East Coast and even into southern New England. Seems to be basically continuing from this afternoon and into the rest of the week. And we could all see a little bit of that ahead of storms, even across the Midwest and rest of the South. Even possibly in the Great Lakes if the front comes a little later, which would allow for some of that heat and humidity to really come along across the Midwest and Great Lakes. And we'll also be taking a low point at dew points just to see how bad this heat wave really is going to be in some places. And there you have it. We have widespread 70 dew points east of the plains. So some areas could be dealing with really high humidity and even heat indexes. So it's going to be feeling very bad crossing these regions. And you really want to take those heat precautions and limit your time outdoors and really just stay hydrated because this is going to be really this is going to be containing a lot of humidity, as you can tell already. So also taking a brief look at the heat index to see where these places will be suffering the worst. And also as we're talking, we'll be seeing widespread heat index in the triple digits from even from the East Coast into the South and even across the plains. And some of those heat indexes could really exceed 110 degrees, which is really insane. Um, Wednesday as well. This we'll see this widespread from the southern plains and even across the southeast and into the Midwest. Um, this is of course the Heatwave front, and again these will be triple-digit heat index readings, and we'll basically see that continue into the rest of the week as well. Southern plains, the East Coast will be dealing with heat indexes even above 100 degrees. This kind of continues into Friday as well for these regions. Friday, yeah. So there's really nothing else to talk about here. I hope you enjoy your day. Stay safe with all this crazy weather in mind. Also, be sure to share this forecast, and if we ever do go live for one of those severe weather days, be sure to also tune in and share that as well with others so they stay safe, especially if you or know anyone in in these regions, specifically across the Midwest, today and tomorrow. It seems like, yeah, stay safe.